Hi Carlos, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good, well welcome back. How's your weekend been going so far?
It's been well. Let's see. I got to hang out with my friends. We went to the park, we played some soccer, and then when I wasn't doing that, I was just hanging out at home watching TV. I was sleeping. It was the weekend.
Cool, so it sounds like pretty relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Good, well that's good it wasn't hectic or anything like that. My weekend's been pretty crazy, but I'm glad you came back to see us today, and I'm really glad to start working with you and really start to get this process moving. So last time when we met, that was like our first time meeting, and during that time I just told you how this is going to work between us, the services that we provide there, made sure that was a good match and everything. Today we're going to do mainly assessment, so I'm going to be asking you a lot more questions and you're going to do a lot more talking, whereas last time it was kind of reversed. And again, my name is Maggie. I'll be your main social worker here at Youth Support Empowerment, so if you have any questions or need contact with anything, you can resort to me. And then before we start talking today, do you remember last time I told you about like informed consent and everything like that?
Yeah, it's in my mind, but like I don't remember the details.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So I'll just do like a little recap before we get started. So in today's session and any session here on out, everything that we talk about is confidential. The only way that I would have to report that information is if you tell me something that I believe is harmful to you or is harmful to anyone else, or if you tell me any information where I suspect maybe some child abuse or neglect or elderly abuse or neglect. Other than that, everything is between me and you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, so last time when we met, I kind of remember you telling me your main reasons why you're seeking services. One of the things was you were kind of having a rough relationship with your mom, kind of wanted to work on that relationship a little bit. And then you just had your huge move, so that kind of transition is kind of hard for you, and maybe you're acting out just a little bit, and kind of all of that together, you might be having some substance abuse issues. Is that about right? Am I on point with that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah.
Has anything changed like since I saw you last between any of that, or like where are you at now?
Nothing different. It's pretty much the same situation. Yeah, I just really want to figure out what to do with my mom, because like she's really stressing me out, and like it just feels like she's always hovering over me. I just want to relax.
No, you're good. That's completely normal. I remember when I was a teenager, that kind of same feeling. A lot of my other clients have that same feeling as well, so it's completely normal. But yeah, so today we're not going to have time to talk about all the issues, but your main priority today, you want to talk about kind of your relationship with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that for sure. So you just said you kind of feel like you want her like off your back, she's hovering. What does that look like? Can you tell me a little more about that?
So like it doesn't really matter the situation, like if it's my friends or school or whatever, she's just always like there, and I know it's like a mom thing, like they're supposed to do that, but like I feel like it just brings a lot of anxiety to stress and anxiety to just my everyday life. So it's like I know I drink, and like I'm not saying it's bad or right, but like everybody else does it, so like I just wish she would be a little bit more okay with it. Yeah.
What kind of just sounds like, is she being caring, or do you feel like it's more overbearing? What's your perspective on that?
I could see both, but like I think it's a little bit more overbearing.
Okay. Yeah, so the issues with your mom, like when did this first start happening? What do you think?
I don't know, like before the move, it was pretty chill, like no real tension. We weren't the closest, but it was easy to talk to each other. Now with the move, let's see, we don't really talk. Like now that I think about it, we don't really talk. So like the way my schedule works is I go to school, from school I come home, and then from there, I have to go pick up my brothers and sisters from the bus stop. I take care of them till like 8, and then my mom's currently working, and she gets out of work around 8-ish. So then whenever she gets to the house, I kind of just go in my room. So there's not really a lot of talking. It's just like...
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a very busy schedule. And it kind of sounds like you're maybe taking on the parent role for a lot of the time.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So, how's your sibling? You mentioned your siblings. How are they kind of dealing with everything? Are they kind of having issues with your mom too, or is it just kind of you guys?
I don't know. I know that if anything, they're just struggling with the move because they have their own friends. But it's an easier transition since they're younger. Let's see. As for them and my mom, there's no real tension of any sort that I could pick up at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so, was it always like this between you and your mom, before the move or after, or can you tell me what that looks like or describe that a little more?
Yeah. So as I was saying earlier, before the move, it was pretty. We had a pretty chill relationship, and now it's pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of tension in the sense of how do I say it? Tension in the sense that I don't want to talk about my problems, and my mom wants to talk about the problems, but she doesn't try to talk about the problems. So there's not really a lot of talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's kind of a little wall there going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're both not really talking. There's kind of a wall built up there. How often do you feel like this kind of occurs? Are you feeling every day or?
I definitely noticed it the past 2 weeks whenever she caught me drinking with my friends or just drinking, and then that's definitely been picking up since then. So past 2 weeks have definitely been different. So whenever she comes home, she'll text me, and then whenever she's 10 minutes away, I just kind of go to my room, make sure everybody's okay and everything. But after that, just go in my room, just stay there. Sometimes for an hour, sometimes after dinner, sometimes I just don't come out at all. Just depends on where I'm at.
So it kind of sounds like maybe you kind of go in your room and just hide away from everything. You don't really want to deal with anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And then with the intensity, with your mom, if you were to rate that on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the worst, 1 being there's not really an issue at all, with the difference between before and after your move, how would you rate that intensity?
Before, like I said, we were pretty chill, so 0.5, maybe a 1, depending on the day. Now it's again, depends on the day, but anywhere from 4, 4.5. If it's a really hard day from school and friends and all that, then I'll even put it at 5.
Okay. So yeah, it seems like it's getting pretty intense now, which is really hard, and it seems like it can be really stressful, especially with everything else you've got going on. And so when you say you guys both want to talk, or you want to, but you don't want to talk about your issues, can you clarify to me what those issues are? Is it the drinking and everything? Is that kind of where the tension arises from?
Yeah, for sure. The drinking, I don't really care about the drinking. I just feel since the move, the biggest thing that I felt is I don't feel I was heard in terms of the move. So parents haven't really asked me how I've been doing or anything with that, with the transition. So that's been kind of a stressful thing. And I definitely notice it a lot when I go to school. Let's see. Yeah, whenever I'm in class, sometimes I get stressed and I think about my old classes at my old school. And it's
Yeah, no, that. I would feel probably the same way. And especially, you do have, you should be asked how you're feeling about this and everything. So, again, anytime we're in here, we can talk about that as well, because I'm always going to be here for you. So, when you and your mom get in these fights, how long do they last? And you said you kind of go in your room and you kind of hide away and ignore everything. What is that like?
We don't really, like I said, we don't really talk, so there's not really much of a fight. It's more of the lack of communication.
Yeah.
Let's see, but it would last anywhere, for me to be in my room, it would last anywhere from, like I said, 30 minutes, an hour, and then sometimes I'll go even past dinner sometimes, so it just depends.
Yeah. So, saying how it kind of depends on the day, on the scale of that tension, and then, again, depending on the day, how long you stay in your room. So it really just kind of all depends, really.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we're about wrapping up on our time here. Is there any last minute things you want to get out before we're done, or any information you may think would be valuable for me to know?
No, that's pretty much all I got.
Okay. So thank you so much for sharing everything. I know we're still getting to know each other, so I know it's not easy to open up completely, but so I want to thank you for that. And then next time we can kind of address more of those other issues, as well as kind of start setting some goals that maybe you and your mom can work on, because it looks like you're really having some communication barriers, and that's really where this tension is coming from. But I definitely think we can come up with a lot of things to work on, and maybe just in the next week when you're home, start kind of really focusing on those times where you get in fights and how they're what's causing them, how you guys are communicating, so then we can talk about that more again next time you come in, and then we can start really creating some strong goals to work on that. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, well thank you so much, Carlos, for coming in again, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Go.